All right, so 135 to space and
Casey and
beyond with Casey and Bo. Let's start with all these people on Facebook that are gonna they made a. Did you see this? They made an event to storm fucking Area 51 to try to free aliens.
Yeah, last time.
Because you're not on Facebook that much.
No, my wife sent me a link to it, and I seen the little clip of the news clip, and I guess the military is saying like, "Hey, we're not
hey, guys,
fucking around.
We're not in this
We
little
will
joke with
kill
you."
Like,
Yeah.
We're now starting
You know
to
what I'm talking
take this
about,
as
right?
a terrorist threat. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude.
Jay Rogan came on his went on his Instagram.
You call him Jay Rogan?
Did I say Jay Rogan?
Damn, are you guys on like friend basis?
He called Brian
are.
Callen B. Callen one day, and I was
B
like,
Cal. I said B Cal.
Oh shit.
I said B
dude.
Cal.
he's like, I was talking to J
I don't
Ro.
think he might.
I was talking to J Ro the other day on the phone.
Jay Rogan.
Yeah,
Jay Rogan.
I don't think he would like that.
No, he would. He did.
Yeah?
He told me. Anyway,
okay.
so Joe Rogan, he went on Instagram and said how like I do not support this. You know,
Joe Rogan said this?
Yeah, he's like I do not support you storming Area 51. And
Why?
like,
What was his stance?
Profoundly stupid.
remember he had Bob Lazar
I'm
on?
just curious why he would say that.
Because a lot of people watched the Bob Lazar thing and got
Yep.
fucking
So-
what's over there and
So
wanted to
he's
storm
more
it.
saying it to protect his liability. Like, hey,
Well,
Yeah.
not
we are
just
not
that, he's just like,
advocates for
don't be
this
a
or anything
retard.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's like I'm not Abe Lincoln in this.
Well, no,
situation.
hold on now. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's partially like a revolution within our society. You know, you're like demanding a truth on the phenomena aspect that the government knows.
Yeah, but
about,
you can't
know what I mean?
stormtroop a military
No,
base.
no,
dude.
and I agree. That's not the right way to go.
They're like,
about it.
guys, fuck
But
off.
It is literally probably the first cause that would gather that many people for the same fucking thing, ready to take action to get to the truth. So
It would be nice to have.
in a way, it's like it's a good thing, but
I like
no,
where he's going with
obviously,
this. This
obviously
has not been said yet.
Not stormtrooping.
What
it
you're
is
saying
the
is
solution.
we should have somebody in the government that we can trust that can at least go in there, not tell us what kind of weapons they have. Don't tell the enemy. We understand that. But just go in there and then make sure there's no aliens. That's all.
No.
No? You don't want that?
No, well, because let's be honest, if there is aliens and the government has aliens or at least alien tech, what would telling the mass do?
Religion would be obsolete.
Well, not only
It'll be
like what
fucking pandemonium.
implications would change dramatically socially, but what good? What is the purpose? Well, because people want to know. Well, I want to fucking meet God and ask him questions too, and I won't know until I die, and he is real, or if he's not.
I don't know what you're saying right now.
What I'm saying though is maybe we're not meant to know everything. You know, like, there's certain things. that I
Eventually,
don't
it will
think-
get
Yeah,
out.
but Case, hold on.
I think
this
there
isn't
is
God's
certain
secret.
things-
This is, we're saying, if the government
No.
has
It's on
fucking
the same
aliens,
exact
we should probably
premises
know.
as national security. It's the same exact premises. If there's us,
Wow.
if there's a
Totalitarianism
reason
over
for
here.
us, no. Listen, if there's a reason for us to develop certain military or weaponry to protect our nation, whatever our cause and our reason for doing it, and we're gonna develop this stuff that's fucking highly dangerous and detrimental to the public, so we gotta hide it and keep it secret. And most importantly,
Right.
is the secret because there's other people within the world that could get this
Disclosure.
and become more powerful than us.
You used to talk
and
about
then they
disclosure,
threaten us. Hold
remember?
on, listen, let me finish. So
Now you're
if
for it.
that's the threat, then it's the same exact premises with
Let me ask you a
that
question. Let me
technology.
ask you a
What I'm saying
question.
it's just more of a dangerous
Let me
technology.
ask you a question, Case. Who got to you?
Huh?
Who got to you?
Joe Rogan, man.
Now, somebody got to you.
Joe Rogan did.
You used to be the big
He told me.
disclosure guy. Now suddenly you're like, hey, we're not meant to know. Fuck it. Don't question anything.
I'm not
Follow,
saying I don't want to
buy
know.
products
man.
and
I'm not
be a
saying I
consumer.
don't want to know. What I'm saying is I don't think that there would, even if you had a government official go through, he would still have only certain amount of clearance to be able to see certain things because I don't think it's operated by our military. I don't think it's operated
I'm saying
within our
we
government.
need somebody. Let's say a head military guy we can trust. It's a
I think that
You know,
our
we have this
government
everywhere
and our
else, dude.
military are legit. I
think
think they're
about, like-
doing everything by the books and they're
Think
not
about this,
hiding
Case.
anything. I think it's
So
a
Area
different-
51, Area 51 is not part of the government.
No, Area 51 is, but it was a secret branch to test certain tech. And what I'm saying is now it just got cliched as the Area 51. And it wasn't even Bob Lazar. It was just because what Bob Lazar was talking about, where he worked, which was S4.
S4, yeah.
Which was a little bit farther from Groom Lake. So where there everyone was looking over here, you know, they were really testing their shit over here. So if any of that is all true, what I'm saying is the tech was so vitally focused on being kept secret, even from their own people. Well, there's got to be a reason behind that. Whatever this technology is capable of doing, or the implications of another species of people out in the galaxy or the universe that has been here and has this form of technology, what that could do to us. It's not just like would it scare people? Is that why people aren't ready? No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying look around. Do you
Somebody
still
got
see
to
car
him.
accidents every day?
Somebody got to him.
People
Yeah.
have car accidents every fucking day.
Every day,
And
dude.
we license people to drive.
Right.
Do you really think people are ready for fucking UFOs?
Casey,
No, we're not talking about that. I don't give a
you
shit.
can't
then
police
what are we
people.
talking
You
about?
can't police information.
I just want to know
What are we
because
talking about?
protect
because
people.
if they're keeping information from the public that first of all religion people are dying over religion, you know. So what if like they're like the government's looking at religion and going, well, we know that religion is bullshit because we got UFOs right here, and if we told them that,
But that's how government is. Think about it. What is government? If it's not like the grand information or the holder of information, then what does anyone's position excel
on.
them to the next
Hold on.
over anyone else's? They have to hold more information than the next person. So what I'm saying is there eventually comes a point where even our government is not included in this. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't think it's like a branch of the military that's controlling fucking aliens or something or advancing in alien technology. I believe them when they say, hey, you know, we're fucking looking into it. It's a big concern. It's an aerial concern. We've been studying this shit for 40
but
years.
who's looking into it? The government?
Millions and billions of dollars have been spent into this shit. We have fractions of government that are specifically designed to focus
right.
on this.
All
And
right.
we haven't got
All
shit,
right.
guys. You know, like it's could be possibly a fucking natural event. It could be a complete placebo effect with the social society, you know, that dynamic of the entertainment industry. There's so many different things to it. I think what's more puzzling is like when you get into more like the phenomena, like the ghost phenomena or the fifth or the interdimensional phenomena, like shit that can be
All right,
recorded,
all right,
shit
all right.
that has been.
Now we're starting to
documented.
deviate a little bit.
What I'm saying is if the government's holding information and you're saying like, what if we sent someone in there to get that
Yeah.
information? What is it that
I wanna
the
know if-
information?
Hold on. I just want to know. I want to move on from this because I got a lot to talk about. But who is in favor of somebody we can trust to run checks and balances? And I'll put it like this: like all three of us have worked at the mighty fine Outback Steakhouse.
Outback OB.
Outbackers.
Oi oi. What is it? What do they do?
Soulless
Ollie, 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 or some dumb shit.
Whatever the fucking thing is.
So, remember there was a guy that always came because you couldn't trust like corporate, like I mean not corporate. You couldn't trust the local manager there.
The GMs.
Yeah. They're like, hey, is this steak old? No. And then they had a guy, you know, a regional guy, and he came out and he like, hey, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm pulling shit off shelves. He's almost looking for shit. Like I'm fucking looking, man. I'm writing tickets today. You know, we need something like that in the government. Somebody that goes in and like checks and monitors. What are you spending? What the fuck is this? $8 billion on fucking dildos or
On a
something?
coffee desk. What?
Whatever.
What the fuck is a
I want
coffee
somebody
desk?
we can trust that's gonna get access and say, look, let me see the facilities. I want to see. I want to know what you know, so we know that. I mean, that's how. I mean, we want complete transparency. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Will people lose their shit if aliens are real? Will technology get out that maybe the world ain't ready for? I don't know. Maybe those are good, probably really good questions, especially the technology one. You know what I mean? Like if the government's sitting on something that's like, look, this thing is really fragile. If Russia or somebody else or China got a hold of this thing, this reactor or something, start fucking plucking away at it, maybe it blows up the planet.
Well,
I
not
don't
just
know.
that, but it's
Maybe
like
alien
what
life forms that they found
Disclosure's
out
already
were
jumped on their concern, which is if we have already harnessed the zero energy or what is that, thermal energy with non-exhaust. If we've been able to create like a complete efficient, 100% efficient machine to create energy, well then why are we still burning fossil fuels? You know, why are you still capitalizing off?
I think
people
because, well, like
while
Bob
people are
Lazar said-
suffering? Like you're talking about completely revolutionizing the world as we know it by taking us out of the energy crisis. You know what I mean?
Let's move to
So that's a concern. Like, and I do agree to that, but
let's move to Bob Lazar. But final vote, I'm for somebody
no,
that
I
we can
agree.
trust
Yeah.
that goes and
I think
makes
that would
shits
be
on the
the
up and
smart.
up.
I think that's what we're
I'd also
eventually
like to
gonna
see
head
that in the Vatican. We were talking about this earlier.
Oh yeah,
All
I
right.
thought someone went
Get somebody in the
down
fucking
there
Vatican,
to look at the
and I want to know
catacombs.
what's going on down there.
And then we never heard anything more about that.
We're gonna do a religious theme show, and I was thinking I'll be the Pope. You could be like a Buddhist monk, and then maybe Bo's like a priest. We get him like a priest outfit with a little collar or something.
I'll rock it.
Are you ready to do that?
Yeah.
And we'll just do a whole hour on
I'm
religion.
gonna do
It'll be
bald
fun.
head. I'm gonna go all out.
Super offensive.
Because
and
how
fun.
powerful was the church then? Like
Super
what if-
powerful.
Yeah. What
They-
if
It was
fucking
the
saw
most powerful
everything.
in the beginning.
What if the
In
church-
beginning
the
of
most
times,
powerful
it was the, as far as
power on the planet?
what if the church found a UFO
Exactly.
and just
think
kept
about
it from
Think
everybody?
about like what you were saying with Randall Carlson and
Graham Hancock.
Graham Hancock, you know, and one of the things that they were talking about with these ancient civilizations being wiped out through the Ice Age and the reset constantly over and over is, who's to say that one of the prior civilizations didn't advance to an aerial aspect? You know, and like
Right.
even the Egyptians have models that they carved of planes. And we know that they didn't have planes, but why the fuck were they carving planes? They didn't look
Let's
nothing
get back
like
to that. We're gonna come back
birds
to
or
that.
anything,
We're
you
gonna come
know?
back to that. That's great.
Okay.
So I let Casey go. He'll cover every topic
Yeah,
I have here.
everything.
All right. So I want to get. We've killed a lot of minutes on this, so I want to go quickly. Just get through the Bob Lazar stuff. Do you believe him? You?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
You think that he went to Area 51, worked there, saw alien technology. Now, to be clear, he didn't say exactly that he saw an alien.
Yeah,
he
no,
said he
I
passed
never
by
heard
and
that.
he
Yeah,
saw
he
like
said
a small body,
smaller
or
person. Yeah.
smaller person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he
Yeah,
saw.
he
I
said
never
that.
heard him say anything.
He said he
about
walked
that.
by and it was for like a millisecond. He
Now-
saw like a little person, probably about 3 foot, on a table, laid out on a table.
Yeah, so it's a little, that part gets a little wacky. It's like, maybe he's telling the truth. Then I come to find out he got involved with some kind of sex scandal or something. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, no, he
No,
got
I never
arrested.
heard
There's
anything about
footage of
that.
him in court.
He got involved with a sex.
He was part of like a prostitution thing or something.
What?
Yeah, I was a little confused on it.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
During what time?
There's
What period?
footage of him in
Was
court.
he young? Like how? What time?
I
period
mean,
did it
this
look
was
like?
after Area 51, probably 10 years after.
Well, I mean, hey, the guy's human.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Say
So
he's
I don't
I mean,
remember
just
seeing
because
him
you get into
live, too,
some
you know,
weird, yeah. I don't know the.
I don't.
Well,
I never heard about that though.
The whole thing was,
honestly.
the reason I believe him is because he was so passionate about his work. Like, I could just see how passionate he was in the Joe Rogan.
Well, there's no doubt that the guy was a
could be-
fucking.
He
rocket
wanted to.
scientist.
Yeah, but
but
he could be a little
rocket
OCD
engineer
and
and-
have a little bit of like paranoid delusions and stuff going on. You know, maybe we don't know. Maybe you don't sleep
I'll
sometimes.
say he can completely. Anybody can completely fabricate
can-
that.
well,
But the
only
only thing
reason-
that is the part I wouldn't say as far as I believe him, because belief is a powerful thing. I would say that I definitely hold his story very accountable for the fact that when he came up with the M13 or whatever chemical or new material that he had
on
found
the periodic
discovered,
too.
and it was yet to discover until like 13 years later or some shit after
Well, hold
the
on.
document. I was
That's
like,
true,
hold
but
on,
here's
now
another
that's
thing, though,
fucking-
dude.
That's come on. That's,
He has been caught,
and
and
it was multiple things
like
that.
okay, remember the hand scanner thing? They were like, he talked about this hand scanner, and they said like that was like years ahead of his time. Well, come to find out,
Security
those
tech.
things did exist back then.
Yeah.
But I think it was like 3 or 5 years prior to that interview he gave about that. What is that movie? Encounters of the Seventh Kind or something? That alien movie that came out in the 74th kind, seventh kind. And fucking,
damn, what
it
kind
came
is
out in the
that?
70s. I was thinking it came out in the 70s.
That's humankind
I think it
right
was
there.
the 70s that came out. And anyway, in the movie, there's this fucking hand scanner. And it's the same thing,
No
you know.
shit.
So they go, look, he could have saw that fucking.
That's
It's
true.
an alien movie, guys. It's an alien
true.
movie. Came out 3 years before he.
Maybe I don't know. You know,
So this
like,
guy get? I mean, otherwise,
It's very possible,
what you have is this guy who literally saw and is telling us there's alien technology. That again, going back to why they were trying to storm Area 51, because if you really believe him, it's like, wait a minute, this is like we got to know this.
Well, hold on. See,
we
now,
have to know this.
Now we're getting into the topic that's not even conspiracy, but it should be the biggest conspiracy. Is if there really is the government involvement in such a thing like alien tech, and we know that there's fucking aliens, and however far the fucking rabbit hole goes, and then they allow Bob Lazar to leak this information out.
No, they haven't, or they did. But
Well, they did, because I mean, if you see many people,
Well, how would
killed,
they stop 'em?
Like a Kennedy situation where you're like, well, then you're telling me these people are this powerful to harness fucking UFO
Yeah.
technology and keep it secret for 40 years, but they can't take someone out.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Well, no, look, did you hear?
Well, this is where the conspiracy goes: is this not slowly part of our development? Is to socially become slowly informed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. First, everything hits the entertainment industry.
Right.
Everything. Like, think of how, like, you watch certain things, like new genres that blast off, and you're like, man, I was doing that 4 years ago. Well, it took 4 years before everyone else caught on.
Right.
But now that everyone else caught on, now it's like this social genre, and then it only lasts for fucking, like 2 months, and then they're on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the UFO and space tech and military involvement. Think of how many movies. It's like every single movie that we depict about aliens, the military already knows. They're already involved,
Yeah.
and the biggest thing is, shut up, we'll kill you, and we're keeping it secret. This shows that socially and society, or that's what I mean by socially. Society understands that our government has a bigger picture that they're looking at that we're not informed about, and we're okay with it. It's like this condoning, like, hey,
So what he's-
we're okay that we don't know. What I'm saying is, I think that the reason that we depict it in entertainment first is to slowly introduce it to society to where eventually we're no
I got
longer
you.
discomforted by the idea,
Hey.
and now we start
Now, that's a conspiracy
critical
theory
thinking.
I can get behind.
That's a
we
good
start
idea.
we start thinking for ourselves
It's desensitizing
on the
them.
idea. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now not only are we okay with the idea that there might be life out there, but now we actually start fathoming the idea of what life could be, or
Yeah.
how long has life been
Next movie's
involved,
gonna come
or
out and be
are
like,
we made of
"What
that
if the
life?
government lied to you, but they're really sorry?"
But
Like,
we're
what?
sorry.
Fuck. All right. Do you? Let
Here's that extra $1,000 this year on your taxes.
like-
Sorry.
If I did it, the government, Area 51, the movie. If I did it.
If I did
Like
it,
the OJ.
damn,
Remember?
dude.
He wrote that book.
I'd
If
go
I
see
did
it.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'd fucking pay to
O.J.
see
Simpson
that.
wrote a book called "If I Did It."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let him release it, and supposedly it was like a tell-all, and like, oh no, matter of fact, I think things got released. I remember listening to something, I don't know, Stern, I think it was, and they were reading excerpts from OJ's book, and he was describing stuff that's like creepily very accurate to the crime scene. He's like,
Ew.
if I did it, maybe I sneak up and I was hiding behind the bushes, and when her and her boyfriend came in, I grabbed him. He like starts explaining.
Why
all
would
this
he
shit.
do that?
He's a fucking massive narcissist psychopath.
Wow, I didn't know.
Why would he do- why would-
Anyway, let's not get on that, the kid. We'll discuss him another time. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah,
Yeah. You believe in
Yes.
aliens? Think they're possible? You think they exist?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
100%.
Same here. Second question: what would aliens look like? Do you think that they're this gray thing? Do you think they're interdimensional beings? Do you think they even have a body? Or they look like us? Do they take the form of the planet, like in K-Pax? You know how they said, like, on your planet, I look like you. But
Well, I think if I had to put a thought behind it, because we've had so many kind of topics or conversations on that kind of topic, look at space being infinite, and then multiple universes having bigger infinities than other infinities. I think that every single thought and probability is real. So meaning, there's probably non-materialistic aliens.
You think there's all kinds of
materialistic-
different
there's-
ones.
There's probably aliens that are us. There's aliens that are non-material. There's
interdimensional beings, all the above.
Everything.
All the
Yes,
above.
Everything.
I'm going to go with that,
I think
too.
we are infinite.
I'm going to go with that, too.
I
Yeah.
think we're infinite.
It's kind of hard to go against that, to be honest.
If space is infinite and expanding, that
It's
gives
like,
you
how can
infinite
you?
and
Yeah,
expanding
I think
possibilities.
I think to claim one idea out of the idea of it being infinite would be so fucking ignorant.
It's
You're
a
like,
weird thing when
How
you
can
think of,
you think that a human
and
is
expanding,
capable of understanding
which
the
is-
universe?
that's the hard
We're
one,
just
right?
such a small fraction of it.
It's like if I said, hey, this table, it goes on forever. And it's expanding. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Fucking isn't forever far enough? Gotta go further than forever? How does that work?
Exactly. You're like, hold on.
does that work?
Some infinities are bigger than other infinities. You're like, well, hold on.
It goes over
If
the
something
edge.
is
Keep
infinite,
going.
how can something be more infinite than another infinite? What are you
All right.
talking about?
Would aliens be good or bad? This is the other. Like Stephen Hawking thought that aliens, there's a strong possibility that if we were visited, aliens would actually be bad. They would come here for a resource or
No.
farm us or something like that.
I don't
Why
think
not?
so. Because, oh man, I don't know, man. I think bad is taught. Like doing bad things is like your environment. You're brought
So the
up
wheel
into
of life is too good that if you evolve so highly, you're more than likely going to be good.
I think that if you're able to, yeah.
Do you think
I-
that you're
I think
bad
you're growth.
or that
I
you're
think,
creating
I
a
agree with
bad
that.
action when you accidentally step on an anthill or unconsciously step on an anthill?
What do you, say that one more time?
If you're walking through the yard and you are unaware that you step on an anthill, are you bad?
No, I just told you the snail thing. I stepped on a fucking snail and I was like, damn.
no. So that,
I was like, I looked
I just
back.
told
I
you
didn't-
my tragic
I just,
snail
yeah,
story.
dude. What are you doing?
you
should've
like
just-
cried about this snail. Is like
You don't
telling you.
remember my
about-
fucking
we
mental
shared
breakdown
shares
walked
about
out,
it and everything.
Dude, I was walking out of my car, went,
Ooh.
and
that's-
I stepped on
didn't
it,
need to
and
hear
I was
the
like, oh
horrific
my god,
Sound effects.
That was a
Damn,
snail.
now you had to like share your pain.
I was
with
like, it
us.
took 3 more steps, and I was like, I don't even
Scrape
want to
them
look
off
back.
like
No,
I
but
don't
my
wanna
point
look
is though is so
Didn't even look back.
if you're unaware
Hit and run.
of this event,
Step
if
and
you're
run.
unaware of the life that you find that insignificant that you just stepped on, it's not that you're creating a bad action though, or that you have
Right.
this.
You were saying aliens
malicious
could
nature
kill us
at
by
all.
accident.
Yeah.
I always got to interpret Casey's like long paragraph.
Yeah, I was wondering where we're going.
Casey, where are you going? I'm saying
Well,
they could fuck us up by accident.
I
They
mean,
run
like,
us
what
over.
if, what if
They
an
step
advanced,
on
like,
us?
check it out. Like, what if a fifth dimensional or sixth dimensional being came into our dimension right now? Who's to say they could even see us? They could be doing things and manipulating, molecules in the air or whatever that their purpose is, and suddenly we have like this fucking gas leak or a black hole fucking rips open our space time, I don't know. I'm just trying to show you, like, when you look at a possibility and then infinity and then infinite possibility, you go, any fucking thing
So,
is possible, dude.
let me interpret
There
this.
literally could
Okay.
be good, bad,
Bad, okay.
malicious, non-malicious beings that are
Now you're
doing
talking
things that
about
are not
Star
even
Trek.
aware.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
Now you're
going
talking
to,
about
like,
Star Trek. That's
so,
how
like-
it is in Star Trek.
So like
Yeah,
different
yeah,
Earths.
pretty much.
There's different
Yeah.
kind of aliens.
It's like there's
Yeah,
a bad
I like
Earth.
their interpretation the
Yeah.
best. But the
Yeah.
only thing I didn't really agree with them so much is they all took on the human form. I think that was only because they had to depict it somehow for the show.
Yeah.
Because they had the one guy in like the very first episode who was the guy who was like capable of fucking doing anything, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and but he took on the human form. Remember, he would take on
know.
different people's forms and shit,
But
pretend
you know,
to be
Case-
like Captain Kirk and shit.
Like I say, I gotta go back to the original premise that I think if they can, figure out light travel and all this technology, think of how evolved their societies would be. They'd figure out global warming and how to seed weather and grow crops. Every inch of the earth would be utilized.
Humanoid aliens.
Huh?
Humanoid aliens.
Any alien. A biologically based alien, like something with a body, not like an interdimensional being or some kind of weird cybernetic fucking computer race of alien.
But something biological that evolved.
Something with
off their
biology,
planet,
with,
advanced
assuming
to their
that.
intelligence.
Well, we're looking at other planets; they're not that different. Like
Well,
it's
no,
not
no,
like
that's the thing about
Lava
space.
planet with the lava people. It's like there's.
No. See, I disagree. Like that's the thing that we're discovering more and more.
But you think we're gonna
about
find like
space.
lava fucking people?
I don't think that it would be it would be that far off than finding any other alien life form. To be honest, dude.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We're finding planets that are completely hollow like donuts, that look like donuts, dude.
That's true. The donut people.
The fucking donut people,
That's the
like,
Simpsons. They
but-
should film the Simpsons.
But think
there.
about that. Like, think about your gravity, your laws of physics, your chemical composition that it would be able to develop on that kind of a planet by
Right.
that kind of gravity, by that kind of position. Everything is dictated by your position in space, by your light. I mean, everything. So just depending on where we are, look at the planets within our own solar system. Why is life here but not there?
All right.
Or
let me
is
stop
it
you
there and we
gotta
don't
take a
see
break.
it like us?
We gotta take a break. We're gonna come back, get into all kind of shit: mining asteroids, danger of asteroids, NASA's new frontier, the Genesis project. I mean, there's too many topics.
You're gonna blow fucking people's minds.
I wonder if it ever gets to a point to where like we find another Earth, and you know how they do mail order brides. What if we just started doing mail order like aliens and shit?
Damn, that'd be badass.
Yeah, and it's
dude.
like, damn, I want a hot.
Now
alien
that's
wife.
like the true fucking world,
Then all of a sudden
true
aliens
future,
are
like where
walking
we're
with
just like
humans.
all intergalactic species, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and everyone's comfortable.
Yeah,
That's really a Captain Kirk thing to say.
that'd be cool, dude.
He fucked aliens all over the universe.
That's true. That's pimp.
Jimmy thinks he's better than Jean-Luc Picard.
Captain
No.
Kirk.
Yeah, right? What the fuck are you talking about, Jimmy? Jean-Luc Picard? Come on.
I've been wondering about Jim. dude.
That's Professor Xavier.
Exactly.
I don't know.
He's
I don't
gonna
understand
go
this guy.
down.
What is he
that's-
thinking?
That will forever be the captain.
He might have just got
for
kicked out of the
Enterprise,
band just now for that little
Yeah, I've
statement.
been wondering about Jimmy, dude.
so he's trying to play.
Have you been
middle
worried
school.
about him?
He might have
I've
been
been
playing
worried
middle
about
What do you think's wrong with him?
I think he's slow, a little slow.
A little slow?
school. Oh.
Like walk slow? He does move slow. He's kind of like a slow moving guy. You know?
Yeah.
That's what you mean?
Maybe
Yeah,
that's his
physically,
meditation.
not
Maybe that's
mentally.
What?
You're not saying he's mentally slow.
good. Ooh, are you? Is he?
I don't
Remember that
know.
time?
Are you?
Remember that
Did that
time
happen?
you got into it with him on text, and then he said, "What did he tell you?
He said we have a problem.
You got a problem?"
And listen,
And
Jimmy,
Bo changed his tune.
don't fucking
You
lie to our
fucking
viewers,
changed
dude.
your
Whoa,
tune.
fucking
You
shot,
changed your
dude.
Hold on, I didn't hear about
Here we
this.
go.
I didn't hear about this.
Here we go.
Yeah, like him and Jimmy had like a little thing, and then like Bo tried to get like manly with him for a second, but then
Okay, now he's gonna. Hey, tread lightly.
with
Tread
Jimmy,
lightly.
Tread lightly,
Jimmy
babe.
tried some
Tread
fucking
lightly,
shit.
babe.
Jimmy tried him.
Tread lightly now.
Jimmy said, he wrote back. He said, like, we got a fucking problem, sucker.
Damn. And what was your response?
He said, we got a motherfucking problem,
I don't
Bo.
wanna, honestly,
Bo
man,
said, I can still remember Bo's fucking thing. He said, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mr.
I said it just like that over
Dude,
text.
dude, Jimmy, I'm sorry.
Just like that over
Jimmy,
text.
don't beat me.
Damn.
All right, dude.
Did
Well,
you even
know-
like? Did
and
you
no,
put
you
like
know,
one of the emojis with tears?
You know what? We all know what happened. You know, all three of us were in the group. It was a group chat. You know,
Yeah.
so we all know actually what happened. And
Right.
this is not.
This is what happened. This is what two of us remember
It's
happened.
not it.
Two of us, 75% of the podcast remembers it happened in this way. So
It's not it, bro.
it's
But
probably
only
it's
the other
probably
25. I wonder what the fuck
or
was
no,
about
sorry,
behind it.
66% of the podcast. Whatever. Anyway,
He can't do math, dude.
Okay, let's talk about ancient fucking aliens. Do you believe the possibility that aliens have come here before? What we call them ancient astronauts. How about that? Maybe they're time travelers. Maybe they're aliens. Now, what are you laughing? This funny little joke?
It is fucking hilarious. I can't take the topic serious because all I think is that fucking guy with the fro. It's like ancient aliens or astronauts
On the History Channel?
Yeah, dude.
He
He ruined it.
did.
They used
I'm done
him
with this
to
bit.
take a good serious topic,
No,
something
look,
that
this is
everyone
good.
wants to know about,
I
and
gotta tell
turn
you
it
some
into a
stuff here.
fucking Hollywood joke.
I've got some stuff here for you. All right, so I didn't print it. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Let's just skip that. We'll go to.
What was your question though about the astronaut guy? Do I
Well,
believe?
I wanted this. Damn, I don't have the picture. I meant to show Bo this picture of. Maybe you can pull it up on your phone. The golden airplane from the Quimbala tribe.
Oh, that's what
That's
we
what
were
you were
talking
just
about
talking
earlier.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this thing?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, pull it up. I had a picture I was going to print out, but so anyway, this ancient tribe that was like I don't know. I think they said it was like 1,000 years BC, 1,000 BC or something like that.
Right.
Had these figurines that they made. This was like a like an uncivilized tribe
Right.
in the fucking jungle. They have these little gold airplanes they made. They look like airplanes. Now, later scholars and everything, I think they're birds. They got fucking rudders and shit on them. It's like clearly an airplane.
Yeah.
Looks just like an airplane.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have given you that impression. What do you think? Is that a bird or an airplane?
Does that look like it's this one?
This is created from,
That's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other pictures, too, that look a little different.
Yeah, go back to the other one. Go back to the other ones. Like these.
They're just different ones, but I mean, they're all still from the same time period.
Right.
Find another
Could they
angle.
be bugs?
Wow, Bo. I cannot believe you're over here saying this stuff to us.
I'm just asking. Could they be bugs?
Well, what kind of bug has the directional fin?
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it could be aliens.
there's different
Well, they see
signatures,
it-
like the wings.
They could
okay,
be bugs,
maybe that
they
was
could
how
be
they were
birds, they
depicting
could be
it.
butterflies.
The secondary, tail fin wings. Okay, it might be like dragonfly, how they have two sets of wings. But then what is the rotor on the back? That's
these
specifically
people
for
are-
The rotor, that's the weird
for
part.
and then
Yeah.
there's what's the cockpit for?
How
You
would
know
they
what I mean?
see
Like,
an airplane,
And then the
though?
beak, the beak. Okay, well the beak could be like the bird or the bug, and then the eyes look like eyes. Okay, well then that's what that could be. But then what is this part? Well then that's just the back shell. There's so many different depictions that are just like that, but it's all about how
And
it's
when was this?
interpreted. You know what I mean?
Like 1,000 years.
1,000 years
BC?
before Christ? Mm-hmm. You know what sucks is that it depends on who got their hands on that sort of information first, basically.
Excuse me, they're 2,100 years old.
You know? Because if someone,
yeah, definitely.
if we stumbled across that, us in like another life, we're like, whoa, the people got to know about this. I don't know anything about this, but like if like the government gets hold of it or the church, it's like, no, we got to keep this a secret because religion is right,
So,
and this isn't. you
Based
know?
on what you've seen, probably just a bird.
that,
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. That could be fucking anything.
really. Could be anything. What do you think?
I think it was a depiction of something. Like they were
Like they saw it
depicting
in the
something,
sky?
but I don't. Yeah, I think that they weren't depicting an animal.
But
It's,
here's what
the
I
rudder makes it look fucking weird.
That's what I'm saying.
the
There's
part.
certain signatures of what they designed that you don't see in
There's ones on there that-
replicated in nature. So no animal has these traits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, well, what were they trying to depict with that? The rest of it, yeah, I could say, okay, the wings. Maybe it's not wings. It was literally like a bug wings, and the artistic.
Yeah,
Line,
did their own spin
depiction
on it.
Made it look like triangles,
Yeah.
What if-
which is how we depict flying planes.
What
Yeah.
if there was some kind of rip in time and space, and like a plane went through this fucking thing, and came through, 2,100 years ago, flew to the sky, and maybe went through another rip and came back.
Hey, there is reported cases of the guy that flew through the Belgian War or whatever, and when they came back, he gave his testimony and stuff, and he was capable of remembering a landmark, which was like this warehouse or something that used to stand, that had burnt down and been gone for like 30 years.
Right.
And when he talked to it with his chief, the guy said, "Hold on, tell your story again." And then that's when they were able to pick out where he had went. They were saying you know, that building's been gone for 30 years. And he's like, no, I flew over it. There
Yeah.
was people working there
Yeah,
and
that's
everything.
fascinating
You know?
stuff like that.
So there are testimonies of people somehow going through like a rip in time and end up in different times.
It could be.
And coming
We're
back,
just looking at
you know?
possibilities. That's all I'm saying.
Like you're talking
Yeah,
about,
that's
like
not very much a possibility. You know?
Within Earth, there's like portals. Is that what
well,
you're saying?
there have been like physicists have said,
space time. It can rip. You can have openings in space time anywhere.
They believe you
They
could
can just
there's
open.
theories
So
that
like
you
say
could,
like just a rip right there in that fucking door. I walk through it. I'm in fucking.
You're in another time
I'm in
and
like a
space,
tiki with the fucking Indians.
In quantum physics,
Sure, yeah.
it literally exists just outside your perspective.
They believe if we
That's
could time
exactly
travel,
where
that
it
maybe
is.
time in space is like a donut, and you could punch through and punch through into another time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy.
So you're telling me
theories out
with
there.
this whole thing right here, you're saying that someone, when airplanes started coming out, ripped through time and popped up in their time.
For a moment, maybe.
Unaware.
And then
Unaware.
these
not
people
with
saw it,
technology or
Saw
anything.
it. Imagine what they would think.
And go,
That's a
"Oh my God.
That's a god."
Yeah,
The
probably.
same thing we would fucking
They would take their
think.
most precious metals.
If
and make
100 years
fucking
from now, and
figures
we,
of it.
not saying it was UFOs, but 100 years from now, we have the next advanced plane, you know,
Yeah.
and for some reason it fucking ripped through time and just appeared above us for a 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we are commonly seeing shit flying in the sky, that would fucking throw any one of us out. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be like, a fucking UFO, you know, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
It would blow your mind, you know, because
Yeah.
it's something
Yeah.
that you're not used to seeing. So,
I don't know if that's
but
happened. I'm
now
just
when you go to depict
having fun
it,
here.
how far are you going to stretch and exaggerate what it was that you saw?
Yeah.
You
The
know what I
rudder's
mean?
weird. I'll just leave it on that. Fucking thing had a rudder.
Yeah.
Alright, that's weird.
There's many different signatures.
I'll
that-
post a picture on here so when you get to see it, and I'll post a couple pictures I saw, like the bottom part, which you don't see in that picture. Very plain like. When you see it from the side, it's fucking weird. It looks like a plane. Like
See,
a
but
plane
I
from, like,
watched
the
the
1940s, which, by the way, just to interject,
artistic depiction.
this was a time when they were fucking launching nuclear weapons and all kind of shit. If anything's going to blow a hole in the fabric of time and space, maybe a nuclear weapon, something that splits an atom. I don't know. Smallest particle.
What the hell?
True. Hey, that's
So we
very
could
true.
blow something up, and then within
You know,
that,
that's
we'll
what
be
the,
able to
the
fucking
atom
go
bomb
through time.
was, right? That they split open an atom.
That's what an atom bomb is.
Yeah, split
Yeah.
open an atom and had a fucking.
So you split open an atom and you create an atom bomb. There's a portal that opens.
No, I'm
we're
saying.
what if, you know,
Yeah, we're just playing with ideas
that
here.
could happen.
if
Like,
that
who knows?
generated
Maybe
enough
not even
energy to
there. Like,
rip
but
open
maybe
the
it's just
space-time or something.
causes some kind of static or weirdness. I mean,
Yeah.
you're fucking with atoms.
I think
the
we're gonna
lowest,
get there
smallest,
by quantum
invisible.
physics.
There's atoms everywhere.
Think about it. Like I think it's kind of like what the gurus. It's like we're slowly catching up to the gurus that already knew this for thousands of years somehow. But the gurus said consciousness exists even outside our body. So they believed in the astral projection realm,
Right.
where when you astral project, you're outside your body. You can go through any time, space, anywhere in the universe. You're infinite in size and not in size. So you're capable of being anywhere and everywhere at all times as well. So
Right.
you're literally capable of like doing like the most profound fucking thing, and
Yeah.
we're disconnected from it. It's just like kept secret from us. And we had this idea of like space time, and we think, well, what if we use some kind of technology to get there? But what if it's not technology at all? What if it's us having to do like these deep forms of meditation or astral projections and shit that we used to practice, where we're able to leave our body and use the non-materialistic astral being to travel freely outside of time? You know what I mean? Like I think
Maybe.
that is where
Maybe.
we really are. because
Interdimensional
our
travel
government has
through
actually
time.
made machines specifically to try to do that.
Yes, Bo. You
Let
have
me
a
just
question.
say this.
Right.
If we were to make contact with another being, another fucking thing, I don't know if I trust the people that are at the head of whatever this is to talk to them. You know, I don't know if I trust them.
Who do you mean? Who's
Like,
at the head?
Who would it be if fucking a spaceship lands? You seen that movie? There's a movie where a spaceship lands and then there's like cameras and a dove shits on.
Hey, let me
What
blow your
movie is
mind.
that?
Oh, Mars
man.
Attacks.
Mars Attacks.
Right,
yeah.
right.
They come in
The
peace.
funny one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a funny
with
one.
Jack
But
Nicholson.
what the person that would go is like the chief or the military guy that
Or the
would go like.
president or
Who
some
the fuck?
someone to represent.
No, listen. This will freak you out. The government has appointed someone.
Yeah.
They have.
Are they like a
they're
psychologist?
already.
The
The
Look, they
Pope
already
wants to
have
be appointed.
somebody.
The Pope wants to be appointed.
No, but they
to
have
be a
somebody.
spokesman as well.
No, Pope.
No, not the Pope.
Yeah, no.
If the Pope
That's what I
lands,
said. I was like,
dude, if the
fuck, he's
if
like,
the alien
come here.
lands, the Pope's obsolete now.
Yeah.
If the alien lands,
Yeah.
the Pope is.
Oh
nobody.
no! Not with the new Pope. The new Pope's hip.
He's
Oh,
He's like,
If
hey,
aliens exist, God had other children
Jesus
too.
didn't mention it, man. He was busy, dude.
You know, he didn't get it
Oh,
all
yeah.
out.
Bible's always
The scholars
evolving.
didn't get to
Jesus
record
are popping
everything.
up on all kind of planets.
yeah.
All right, so let's go to the future, which very much is in mining asteroids. right? And let me go walk you down this. So you mine these asteroids for rare minerals and stuff like that. Diamonds, gold, very rare stuff. What's going to happen when we take all this stuff back? What's going to happen to the value of gold and diamonds? If we come bringing back, let's say we bring back a diamond the size of, a small state or something, an island, like, it's no longer rare anymore. Diamonds are going to lose its value. And you're going to have multiple spaceships at some point going up, jumping on these asteroids, mining the fuck out of them, coming back down, gold, diamonds, copper, whatever, all these minerals, precious stuff, maybe stuff I'm sure we haven't even seen yet.
Do we use that?
What does the currency do? What
does
it do for
currency? All that is currency, right? It doesn't have anything
in
to do
a
with,
sense.
It's not like we're mining oil.
Well,
I think
we still have cash.
Genius.
We'd still have cash, but like gold would become obsolete. Diamonds, all the other precious stuff.
Yeah, the value of a dollar would become.
The dollar would be the only thing.
I think the only way it would work is if we automatically made a stipulation on the material that's retained from that is non-earthly usage. And the reason I say that is because anything that this is something that no one has taken in consideration yet, but think of how long it's taken our planet to develop all its basic elements and its properties to develop life and be able to sustain life. It's taken billions, in 4-point-something billion years for it to do that.
Right.
Well, it's a long process of accumulating new material.
Right.
Now we're at a point where the life form within it's going to go outside it, which we're not we're not alien to the planet, I don't think. So if we go out, we're fine when we come back. But what we bring with us, bringing back to the planet, well, now we're disrupting the natural planet's element.
Right.
we're creating a new
You're like looking at a
level.
biological
I'm
disaster
saying
that could happen.
I think it sounds stupid, but what if we brought we do this and 10 years go by, and over 10 years we've accumulated 1 million pounds of gold that we've brought back to the earth. Well, that's
what do we
a
need
million
gold
pounds.
for?
Listen,
I don't understand.
this is my
It's
point
just-
though. Is
I'm just
now
saying
we have
people
1
would do
million
it.
pounds
Oh, okay.
more of gold property
Right.
that serves its purpose on the planet. Well, gold has a property. Everything breaks down to a chemistry.
Yeah.
So chemically, that's going to alter certain other properties and other metals and everything. So what I'm saying is, I think that's something that we're going to have to take into account. And if we don't consider that before we start doing it, we might get to a point where we reach a point where
how
we
about
alter
this?
our planet.
What about if there's you're mining something, you're mining a big diamond like that, and somehow the rock that you bring back has some kind of virus or some shit we've never been exposed to. Nothing on this planet has been exposed to it. It's super aggressive and could kill all the life on our planet.
Yeah.
Some super bacteria or something like that. So that's kind of scary. It's like, we don't know what the fuck's floating out there,
Yeah, but who the fuck's leading this? Why are we going? If anything, we're taking oil out of the earth.
Well, see,
right?
now what we were
That's
just
what we should
saying
be
earlier
wanting.
about the aliens, and you're saying
Oil?
the government.
Yeah, right. Like
mining oil.
What are we
Well, it's
mining
time to-
gold
it's time
for?
to-
What are we pirates?
No,
What
no,
are we
but-
fucking-
Well, no, because they do.
whoa.
We
Hold on,
have
let me
a
back up.
great usage for it. And all space travel has to rely on gold because that's the number one thing for solar radiation reflection is.
Really?
Yeah, it's
We
gold.
use gold then?
Yeah, like the
Okay.
bottom of the rover, or not rover, the shuttle that landed on the moon was covered in gold.
Well, not just that. Gold is valuable still. It's still valuable.
Yeah, I mean the
you know?
usage for human
So,
consumption,
and-
but
okay,
mostly
take
tech. It's
gold-
mostly
Yeah, but
technology.
it's valued based off of how much exists on Earth, not like.
That's what I'm saying.
If you bring more, yeah.
But
it's-
initially,
yeah.
it'll be a good business. Say you're the first guy to get out there. You fucking, this asteroid's coming by. You set up a little rover, it launches on there, it runs around the planet. You control it. You find a diamond the size of this, picks it up, puts it in there. You find a couple diamonds like this. You come back, you're fucking billionaire. Like it's gonna be incredible how much money you would have. You buy a few more ships. You create a few more ships. Have some more missions like that. You're mining gold. You're mining diamonds. For a point, you're gonna be. And then John Doe gets on and Sally, and everybody gets on board with this. Now everybody's bringing diamonds. And at some point, I don't know how fast it would be. I imagine it would be pretty quick that we would see the value of diamonds and gold just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think if it's non-government and someone, which is going to be small sector, which is secret, the big CEOs of these big fucking corporates, they're the ones who have the alien tech and everything.
What I think is sad about us as the United States is that it's so greedy and it's so corrupt, and everybody's looking to make a dollar. They don't care how they do it. Like all these big corporations and companies are just, they don't give a fuck. Like I've seen documentaries of like cancer being given to people knowing that it was cancerous, and they didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to like make it's a good documentary. You should watch it. It's called The Devil We Know. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's about like pans and shit. But they're just like wanting to make a fucking buck, right?
Yeah, Teflon.
Teflon,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it
Okay.
one day. Great.
It's so good, dude. It's scary.
Teflon lead to cancer.
But yeah, our greed is gonna be our demise.
Yeah.
It's gonna 100% be our demise.
Just as it always has, you know, like who was it that said it in ancient times? You know, a civilization doesn't fall until it crumbles from within.
Right.
We have to destroy ourselves from within because it's that greed mentality of capitalism. That's why I said capitalism serves its purpose, but there's an aspect to it where we gotta have some kind of census on it, you know, because exactly like where do you draw the line where you're actually hurting people to make money? You know, that's what the fuck.
You know you guys seen the movie The Mummy with who was
The
that?
Rock?
No, the other one.
Kimbo?
No, it's like him and the girl. I think they made 2 of them. But it was like they go to the pyramids and they find like gold and shit. I don't know if you know this one. It's fuck, man. What's that guy's name? The pretty boy, the fucking white guy that played the. He was like a funny, but he had guns and shit. You guys don't remember this mummy movie?
No.
Well, anyway, one of the guys that he goes into the pyramids with goes up to this wall, and it's like a wall of like fucking rocks and cool ass shit. And he takes his knife and he like fucking starts picking them off, and he's like an
jewels
addict
or something?
Yeah, he's like an addict to gold or like whatever it was, right? Well, then these things break open and they're beetles, and these things that were just once beautiful, they break open and they fucking like crawl into them and they wind up killing them. Yeah, but it's like that's what I think
Good
about when
trap.
I think of greed. Is like this guy's like fucking.
Well, sadly, like the stories and folklores that we are told through religion, it's not true. You know, the devil walks the earth, and it's greed. You know, like the fact that $1 can make you take someone's life or kill someone just to feed your own life, that shows you, you know, the power of an idea.
Yep.
And that idea has ruled the world ever since. And to me, like, I think that we've reached such an intelligence in this time period, but we still allow a fucking dollar to do what it does. And it was in God's Catholic words that said, it was the Darius. Don't break the Darius, because that's where evil leads. And I'm not even fucking religious, but I'm saying their own book told them thousands of years ago where you'd go wrong, and they did it anyway.
Yep.
And we live to it today, you know what I mean? Like, so I agree. I think the problem will be there won't be a true representative that stands for the true humanity of nature, of people, or human beings that are currently on the earth today. There'll be this mentality of the future race of people, or a selective species of people, or a certain race of people. I mean, who knows? You know, we still have such racism today. But that will be what's represented, and we probably will never even know. We'll never even. Who's to say it hasn't already happened? And you know, 60 years have gone by, and we're already a space-faring species, and we just don't know it because we're not privileged.
Space, the final frontier.
It is.
Let's move on a little bit here. I want to end on this point on that though. What kind of rings will women want for their weddings after?
Whew.
You know what I mean? Will they still want that diamond?
No shit.
Baby, you want a diamond? It's the cheapest fucking ring of all time. You know,
No
cubic
shit,
zirconium is more expensive now.
Yeah, I would definitely change everything.
Right?
Now.
So then it's like,
That could
then
be a
it's all
good
about
thing,
money.
though.
It's not about, I just like the way diamonds look. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you like that it cost me fucking half my
cubic
year's
zirconium
salary.
shine, and they actually look prettier.
Cubic zirconiums look pretty damn good.
They actually reflect colors and shit.
Maybe once money is gone and the value is gone, then we can get back to looking at art as just what's beautiful.
I was just gonna
And
say
get back
maybe
to
they could be
maybe
a good
rings
thing.
a nice ring will be something that's like handcrafted and elegant and just accents the woman and you know, her
It's
personality.
for the character
something
of
more
it, you know,
sentimental,
the
not
story
just,
that's in it.
I
Rather
got it
than,
from Zell's.
Yeah,
I
the value of it.
remember my friend goes, she got a big diamond ring for his loser guy, and she goes, he was a loser. They're not together now. But she goes, look at the size of the ring, Dave. That's how you know how much he loves me. And I was just like,
What is fucking wrong with people, dude?
I wanted to save her right then and just go, hold on, don't do this.
No, there is no saving her.
Don't do it. But I knew
Because
she was
it was
already
her.
She was already in.
Exactly,
She was already
yeah.
in. I never forget that. Look at the size of the diamond. That's how much he loves me. So you're onto that one. So NASA's got this thing called
Wait,
a new
before we get into NASA, do you think that Area 51 and the NASA, that something happened in Area 51, didn't NASA shut down for a little bit, but it was still running secretly? Remember NASA shut down? NASA.
Yeah, I remember NASA shutting down.
Yeah, well, you know why that was?
I can't remember. There
It didn't have anything to do with like alien life.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? You know, again, like would
They would have
even
to
tell
correlate,
us?
right?
Would they even tell us? You know, even the government officials who represent for us, they don't tell us the truth.
Yeah.
Russia fucking found bacterium life form on the shuttle or space station, and NASA tried to deny it. They had to bring it back to prove it. Like, yeah, there was bacterium on it. Now the theory is that it was brought out there. You know, like by some of our equipment, some kind of microbes got out there. You know, from our shit. But point blank, there's microbes that are existing in space, not deep space, but in space, in orbit of space, outside the fucking space station, eating away at the window. Like that's a fucking
living.
life form,
It's
dude. That's
living,
crazy. You know what I mean? A long time ago, not too long ago, they did find a bacteria that was preserved in a rock that came from Mars. But it was not debunked, but it was disputed because there's a possibility that when it re-entered into our orbit, the heat signature could have melted the ice and went down so far where there was microbes on our planet that embedded and then melted into the rock. And then when the rock re-hardened, it preserved it. So it is a possibility, you know, but all the leading scientists on it that studied it said they don't believe that this would happen.
Take it back off that. I want to jump to a new topic before we run out of time. What was that? Oh, what was that movie where they had like an alien virus or something in the ice? Was it?
Thing.
Thing.
Fucking badass.
It was
Kurt
like,
Russell, man.
But think about that. Think about this for a second. Like, what if in the dinosaurs there had to be some gnarly ass bacteria and viruses and shit? It's frozen in the tundras during the ice age. Like, is that shit just like waiting to be unfrozen and come back alive? Like you know how like tardigrades and everything can survive 0 temperatures and burn in boiling water.
Like
there's
dinosaur
something,
AIDS or
yeah,
something.
there's
like
dinosaur
dude, for real.
AIDS out there, dude.
For real,
It's a
there had to be
scary
colds
concept.
and flu because animals get sick.
Take a look at this. Tell me if you've seen this before. What does that look like?
Looks like a lady's head, lady's face with some.
Guess where
boobs.
that's at?
On the moon.
It's on the Mars. On Mars.
On the Mars.
On the Mars.
It's
It's on Mars, right?
The
Face on
Mars.
Mars. It's
Yeah.
the face of Mars, not the moon.
The face of Mars.
It's a face on Mars.
What is it? Just a rock?
It's just supposed to be a rock formation. They took a better photo, more updated photo. That's what it looks like now.
Doesn't look like anything.
Doesn't look like anything really, right? But look at that.
So it's like the light hitting it in the right way.
But what if that's the way they made it? Maybe this is like millions of years old. Did you know that Mars is actually older than Earth?
Yeah.
By something like 100 million years or something.
And there was a planet between us and Mars called Terra.
But that can't be a human face.
Look,
That's like a giant.
Listen, do you hear what I'm saying? Mars is older than us by almost 100 years. 100 million years. Imagine a race that had 100 million years on us.
Yeah, but that's a really preserved head, is what I'm saying. Like that.
No,
would be...
maybe it was way more profound looking and pronounced, you know? And this is just millions of years of erosion on the moon.
Didn't they find traces of
Not weather-induced
uranium
erosion, but I mean,
and,
obviously rocks and stuff, weather there.
I can't remember because I'm not a fucking rocket scientist, but they found traces of evidence that there was a radiation from a nuclear explosion on the surface of Mars, and it was in the last like 100 million years or some shit, or kind of recently, to where obviously there's still traces, elements of it, and they showed like this isn't from like asteroid impact because those are different.
Right.
Whatever, and their signatures, that it was actually like from an explosion, like a nuclear explosion, air burst style explosion.
I don't know anything about that.
So I was like, how, how do you test that? You know what I mean?
You got something?
Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking you're right with this whole, when you're talking about how we slowly are going to tell the public about forms, because I think everything's correlating. Like, I feel like religion is kind of dying out, you know? And then this UFO shit's coming out. And then this guy was on Joe Rogan like last year talking about how within the next 30 years, we know of tens of millions of planets. And we have a satellite up there that will like, light is going to be passing across these planets. And this will be able to take pictures of each one of these planets and see like shit like that. And be able to see on planets,
I got something.
on tens.
I'm going to call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Unless we found a way to get through the Oort clouds and clouds of hydrogen and shit, like
Look,
that's the biggest thing
I've
is when
got
you
something.
see dark spots in space.
I got something for you.
He's got something for you,
I
dude.
got something for you. It's called the...
I know there's something new that came out. I just watched on TED Talk, but
What the fuck is it?
that's the biggest challenge right now. Is being able to see through them.
I like how I highlighted it and I didn't highlight... It's called the Breakthrough Starshot. The Breakthrough Starshot project. We got a couple of minutes, so we'll come back to that, all right?
Okay.
So when we come back, we'll do 30 more.
About that.
We do 30 more minutes. It's a fucking awesome project being funded by some billionaires and a panel of people that's going to launch cameras into space, deep space, inner space.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that.
He said within the next 30 years, we'll be able to see.
So, but
shit.
I want to end on this
God,
for this chapter, colonizing Mars and the moon. All right, I have this like, it's almost like just a sneaking suspicion that almost like Planet of the Apes. Like one day we're gonna get some, we're gonna be on Mars and we're gonna do some digging and we're gonna find out, or even the moon, that there was life there before, like human life, and then we're gonna find out it was us, that we actually, in a previous, because the world's so old, Earth is so old.
4.6
It's like we could have.
billion,
I mean, think about the prospect that we could have done this multiple times and we've blown ourselves up, killed ourselves, got taken out by almost taken out by a bacteria, and every time everything gets knocked back down, and the process on this planet is amoebas crawl back out of the ocean, and evolution takes over. 100 million years later, boom, now we're here again. Like, who's to say this is the first time that humans been peopled on Earth?
Yep.
I say I'm not one to have a belief system, but if I was to have any belief, it would be pretty much that.
Yeah.
You leaving?
No, I want to, because I don't want to fucking start going on something. We got 12 seconds left. I don't want to fucking. I have a fucking thought. I want to get it going.
All right. We'll take a break.
My joke against me, dude.
Is he really going on vacation too?
I
Jimmy
used
is?
to know how to throw a frisbee.
No, but is Jimmy really going on vacation too?
Yeah, he's going to
the timing was a joke. I wanted to
Montana
joke
or
1 minute before.
Montana or Minnesota. Where is he going?
Brokeback.
Where's
You
he
guys
going?
are going to Brokeback
He's
Mountain.
going to Minnesota. He's going somewhere.
He's going to Montana.
But let me go back to.
Minnesota.
Let me
Why
go
are you
back
always
to.
shitting on Jimmy? He's going to Montana, not Minnesota. Minnesota.
I thought he was. From
I just felt like
Minnesotans
saying.
are not Canadian.
I just felt like saying Minnesota, dude.
We ride elk around here and moose.
All right. So anyway, can I say something about this Bob Lazar shit?
We're gonna move on because that was 10 hours ago.
No, it wasn't, dude. We're
Okay,
just
so you got
talking
something to say about Bob Lazar? Okay, fuck it. Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Have you been
I mean, I
going
got
to
many
podcasts
things I can
like
say
that?
about
That's
Bob
great.
Lazar.
Can I say something
We
about
just
the
cut
Bob
all this
Lazar
off
thing?
because you're over here fucking.
Can you say something about the Bob? I want to say something about the Bob Lazar thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying. Why don't you
So
inform us?
Bob Lazar talked about how when they were working on the shit, they could only talk to one other person, and then he says how that goes against science. Like science is a bunch of people getting together and like, so
Right, that's a good point.
I don't understand. Like, how do they expect to get anywhere if I can only talk to you about this and I'm not allowed to ask any questions about it?
Again, that kind of supports his story, though. You know what I mean? Because if there was such a high secrecy on keeping it hush hush, even those who would work there would have to be, in some way separate from the actual truth. You know what I mean? So only getting a bit and small piece of the truth.
I think with this whole, there's so many levels to that. Like Bob Lazar got in at the lowest fucking level because he's reporting to someone who's reporting to someone who's taking all this shit and making one thing and like, oh, we got this and this and this.
Well, that's my point earlier. Is do you think that it branches up to the military, like a fraction of our government? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, where did a lot of money go that's in black budget operations? Well, we are still at war in certain things, and we are still involved in a lot of places across seas. So there is a lot of different shit that we could be doing that's not somehow a conspiracy. What I mean? But then there's shit that is happening within our country that is a conspiracy, and there are plenty of people who make just enough money to be able to do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like, when you're making trillions of dollars, I don't think people can fathom that. They don't. They're not really understanding what that means. You make trillions of dollars. How's that possible? You're talking about that's like we're in trillions of dollars deficit, and you make that in a year. How the fuck is that possible?
How? I don't know.
What are we talking about? Now those
What
are
are
the
we
type of
talking
people.
about?
Those are the type of people that probably have
wound him up
UFOs
now.
and
Now look at him.
you know what I mean? Hey, give me go.
He's one
Give me
fucking.
going, man.
he's
I just
one
don't know if
third
I
eye
I
throw
just
from
want my own
Illuminati
UFO,
right
man. I
now.
just want to get out of here.
I don't know. I just don't know if I trust. Like, I want like a Graham Hancock talking to aliens. If we you know what I mean? Like, I want that guy talking to a force.
Well, honestly, no. I would say if anyone's going to talk to an alien, I want to
This
speak
should be
for
me.
myself. Yeah. I want to speak
should
for
be me.
myself. I don't
Yeah,
want
but
no human being
I'm the most
representing
equipped
me.
person
I
to
know,
speak to an
but
alien,
I
believe
know,
me.
but they
I understand
come
what you're
down-
saying. Like, to represent the human, the human
I don't
kind,
want, like,
I don't
fucking-
think they can.
I
I
don't
think
want-
even to an alien species, would we go
Like, what
to
are you doing?
another
Are you
place to
retarded?
do that?
Stop doing
Yeah,
that.
he walks up like, I'm the general.
Yeah.
Think about it. If we went to another place and we landed down on this planet, we found life form there,
I want John Lennon.
and we were
talking
going to
to
just go by how we do things, and we came down and said, hey, take us to your leader. What if they said, like, well, what the hell's a leader? We're all one consciousness.
Yeah.
There's just many of us.
Yeah.
We're just subjective. You'd be like, oh, Well, then
Good.
who's in charge?
Say good.
All of
can
us.
I come on board?
Okay,
Come
well
on board?
then, who do I talk to that's going to talk to everyone? Anyone. Like, why can't we be at that level? Why do we have to have a fucking daddy up there speaking on the behalf of us? I think that's always been the problem.
Yep.
That's why
Well,
we're
who's
at the
gonna- well,
point
I mean, we just need to
in
represent-
2019 where we still don't know if there's fucking
We
aliens.
do need a representation.
You know what I mean?
a representative to from America to go. Hi, we're America.
Yeah, but he's saying
If
that
we're going
that
to
the
keep
other-
this dynamic. But I
Yeah.
think if we ever reach the point where we become a star-bearing species, we're not going to have nations anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to be a one-world
We're gonna be the frontier.
existence.
Final
Yeah,
frontier.
he's saying
Star Trek.
He's saying the people we meet
Exactly,
are
beam me
so
up.
advanced that they've advanced way past government and presidents and kings and queens.
Yeah, they wouldn't even have a record of
Hey,
it
did
anymore.
you
There would be
watch-
no point.
The Next Generation at all today.
I watched about 7 minutes of the first episode,
hate
and I
you.
fell asleep.
You're fired. Don't come back next
I
week.
do want to watch it though.
No, you're fired. Craig Leonardo.
What?
You're-
What?
welcome
What
to the
about
show.
Craig Leonardo?
Welcome
dude?
to the fucking
Don't
show.
fucking bring up
You had
Craig like
one
it's some fucking
fucking
threat.
job.
Isn't that like
And he's like,
You're wearing
your biggest
Bo
fan?
fucked
You
up.
guys'
Hey,
biggest
Craig.
fan?
Hey, remember the shirts?
That's your biggest fan?
what shirts?
Remember what your shirt meant? Like the color?
Yeah, I'm the fucking muscle. Is basically all.
Security.
Oh, so you're the
I'm security.
deformed forehead.
He's Worf.
No, I'm not the deformed forehead.
Captain, I'm feeling hostile to the situation.
He always wants to resort to violence.
Yeah.
Captain, am I blighted?
No, I
want
like-
to sink this axe into his ass.
I teach everyone how to be like a badass. That's
Mm.
it. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm.
You're the what was the blue?
You don't remember?
I'm second
No.
in command, dude.
He's science.
Yeah, you're second in command, but you're science.
You're
So,
science.
Exactly.
But we're all one, so we're like
Spock.
all-
And I'm fucking Spock, so
Big
I
Spock.
mean, come on. I come from a whole race
Yeah.
of super genius.
and then
That's
because of me,
And I'm the last one of my people, so
because of
big
me,
deal.
you're a fucking samurai warrior. And because of you, I'm a samurai warrior on the exterior.
You're like-
but on the
wait,
interior,
No connection there.
I'm
we
a
were saying. No correlation in the show. What's the
See,
samurai?
it's
Actually, you
fucking
don't.
perfect.
You never see like Worf and Spock in the same scene. Actually,
Well, these are all primary colors: red, yellow, and blue.
actually, I don't think Spock was in with Worf at all.
No, he wasn't. That was the
That
old
was
one.
completely
But
different.
that
shows,
these
but-
colors still there. So that's interesting to note. And red is the helm,
Yeah.
command helm. You know.
I like
We-
how
we knew that
He
was
snagged that
What
one
was it gonna
quick.
do? Get us all three fucking red shirts?
He
Come on.
snagged the red one quick.
Could
He's
have.
like, hey, you
Yeah,
guys-
we could have.
Look,
Hey, shirts are in.
color-wise,
You guys get to choose
I would love to
between
have
these
been
two.
Data. Data was always my favorite.
Well,
I'd have been
I'm
Data.
obviously John Luke Picard, guys. Who am I? Worf? I'm the fucking Worf.
Yeah. He's like, shirts are
kind of
in.
resemble him
I
closer.
probably
He
should
texts
be
me, he
Worf,
goes, hey,
actually.
shirts are in. Shows me 2 shirts. And I was like, you only bought 2? No, I already chose mine.
What the fuck
You
are
guys
gonna
get
do,
to
draw
choose between
straws?
these 2.
Hey, no, that was fun.
Ungrateful.
I'd say
Yeah.
I would have went for Spock.
Hey, I would have
Son of a bitches.
gave myself yellow. I would have pointed myself.
I
yellow.
like the yellow the most.
Yeah, I'd say I actually like the color
Yeah.
style better though.
So there you go.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed too, you only have 2 little dots up there, and one's a hollow dot. Right on the right. See it right there?
I can't remember
Casey's got
exactly.
3
Yeah, it's
dots.
like-
I can't remember exactly how
That
the
means he's
ranking
above
goes.
you.
Yeah,
He
he's
outranks
like-
you.
Yeah.
All right. Did
Yeah.
did you set it in that way? Did he type it in?
Yeah, I did.
I need one low.
Yep,
Low
one
level.
less for you.
One low level.
That's exactly what I did.
And then somehow knew which one you
Inferior
were, what
All right,
shirt
guys.
you were gonna pick too.
So,
fucking
going
super
back
genius.
to the Breakthrough Starshot. This is really fucking interesting. So, it was... Here, let me read this. Let me read this to you. I actually printed out something here.
Can you read it to us?
Can I read it to you?
Hey, you should read that to us.
Go ahead, dude.
You got something funny to say?
No, it was
Make
just-
a couple
it was
more little
fun.
jokey poos.
There's no joke.
Hey, why don't we just fucking tear this up and let me just tear into you?
That's a podcast.
Don't make me start telling the audience how you fucking came to me and said, dude, can we have one podcast where you just don't kick my ass, dude?
Damn.
My friends are starting to
You
feel...
didn't you tell him not to say that?
Yeah, he did. He asked
He
me.
was like, "Don't say that
He
to the
asked me.
podcast."
And I said,
"Don't call
I
me
said,
out."
hey, for your birthday, Billy,
You just gotta start doing it back to him. You know that,
I
right?
gotta start
He's just gonna
making
keep
up- He
doing it.
starts it. This
He's
is
gonna
what he
keep
does.
doing it until you start
he
doing it
does
back
start
to him.
this shit.
I gotta
Case.
start making up shit.
He's a
in my
little
head.
passive-aggressive instigator.
No,
Yeah, you are.
no, I'm not.
All right, so Breakthrough Starshot. You got any more jokes?
No, I didn't.
You
I was
done there,
never gonna
Louis
say
CK?
a joke. I just
I'm
wanted
fucking
you-
intrigued. I
Hey,
want to
Mark
know
Maron, you
how the
done?
fuck we're gonna see through all this shit in space.
Okay, Breakthrough Starshot. A research and engineering project seeking to develop a fleet of light sail spacecraft named Starship. The Starships, capable of making the journey to the Alpha Centauri star system, which is 4.37 light years away.
Yeah, our closest, ironically.
A phase array... Dave, how are we going to accomplish this? Well, I'll tell you. A phase array of ground-based lasers would then focus a light beam on the craft cells to accelerate them one by one to a large speed within 10 minutes.
Oh,
then,
so
of course,
they're
it's in
going
motion.
off the ion.
It's just going to
thing.
So it's kind of like the light, the lasers are going to be like the wind pushing a cell. So I hear what you're saying. How fast does this go? Right, 10 to 20% the speed of light.
What the fuck?
Or 37,282 miles per second.
Because it just continues
Not
to
hour,
accelerate.
Not hour. You know, you drive 65, 70, 80 miles an hour. 37,000 miles per second. This fucking thing's gonna be shot.
We
heading
have
toward the Alpha Centauri.
we have technology that can shoot something that fast.
Well, no, it will
we're
accelerate
working
up to
toward
that
it.
fast.
Oh,
They're
Once set
estimating
in
the
motion.
first launch would be around 2036, but they believe they're really getting close to the technology to be able to make this a real thing. So the target is Proxima Centauri B, which is an Earth-sized exoplanet in the habitable zone of its host star Proxima Centauri. The light cell would be about 13 feet by 13 feet. This is what they're working with. Yeah.
Small. What the
Yeah,
hell?
13 and would contain 1,000 star chips, spacecrafts. Each spacecraft's about a centimeter, about your fingernail, your thumbs, you know. So picture
and that goes out taking a bunch of pictures.
1,000 of them on this thing. Yes.
Hold on. I'm
2 megapixel
and it ejects
camera
out.
they're going to be loaded with these. Dude, there's a website and it goes into the processors and all kinds of shit.
Think about how small the camera is on your phone right
Hold
now.
on. We need to get back to one point because this is about to change the whole mission. Why they're doing this? You're saying that they have this device and it's going to shoot out thousands of tiny little cameras.
Yep.
It's going to
That
sail
can travel
on a big
around
boat.
anywhere.
A big sail is going to push it 20% of the speed of light. It's going to fly for approximately 20 to 30 years until it reaches 4.3 light years away.
Yeah.
And then at which point these 1,000 little star chips with cameras and processors are going to come out, and they gave them 1,000 because they projected they're going to lose a lot of them. They're going to do a flyby of what they predict to be a very much like an Earth planet.
Yeah.
And they're going to take pictures. Then they're going to somehow shoot those images back to Earth. And they said at which case it would take 4 years approximately for those signals to come back.
Holy shit.
Dude, so we are about
roughly
to be fucking
24
aliens, bro.
to 34 years from now.
I told you.
So we are about to be alien. We are sending probes down
Yep.
to probe a planet and its life.
Now let's come back full fucking circle. Remember we at the beginning with the Quimbala tribe. Like what is rip in space? A fucking real spaceship? Perhaps? Like why is that so hard to believe? We're fucking doing it.
I say, what about the
Now, what
Mayans
if-
depicting
give us
the
1,000
astronaut
years.
controlling the mechanism and stuff?
Give us
like-
1,000 years. Just 1,000 years, a blink of an eye, really, in in the bigger picture of things. And what will we be capable of? What the fuck would we be capable of? Past multiple star systems, sending people. They're talking about cryogenically freezing people and doing a similar thing.
That's what happened to Walt Disney, right?
Well, hold on. They haven't been able to completely do
Not
the
yet, but this is
unthaw
just
part.
theories.
Yeah.
This is just theories that, like, in the future, we're going to use
Well, what we can
cryogenesis
do
to
right
freeze
now-
people, slow down their aging. We're going to be able to send them at warp speeds. They wouldn't have to eat or anything. They could survive a 10, 20-year, light year trip. And then wake up. I mean, very much like Aliens, like fucking Alien shit.
Yeah.
Like the movie Aliens. Like
Yeah, 'cause
waking up, getting thawed out. Oh, shit. You come to, space station out there. You wake up. You build a space station for 20 years. This is going to happen.
I think
This is
I
gonna
don't know, but I'm pretty sure like Elon Musk, those type of people, and who are not as big CEO, but who have money and are kind of getting behind the cutting edge, they're gonna get behind that the docking stations where we start putting docking stations, kind of like how we did with the space station, around certain planets, getting farther and farther outside our solar system.
Right.
So as we're trying to make trips,
Right.
it's within our budget range in our
Right.
current time.
Right.
So we're not saying, yeah, we'll be able to do this in 60 years. No, we can do this in the next 5-10 years if we build these docking stations. So then we'll have somewhere where we can get resources in between.
I mean,
That's crazy
This
shit,
is
though,
incredible,
man.
right?
I think it's weird that we're going to Centauri, though, for the fact that it's our closest, and that's like the biggest conspiracy that you read about in alien UFO conspiracies.
When did Bravo get here?
Hey, I'm just
say
saying,
so,
man. Anything and everything that you talk about, as far as
Casey will take it to conspiracy.
if there was
He's like,
ever something
that's
that you said there was
conspiracy
life
of
form.
disclosure life forms of Centauri
Well,
planet.
Back to the topic, though. If there was life form and it was coming from somewhere, where is a feasible trip that they can make it from? That is the closest place, and that is the only
Yeah,
place
but
that has
assuming they're
actual
1,000 years
exoplanets.
advance from us, or 10,000 years, or a million years advance from us, fuck, maybe they travel easily all through. Maybe they know how to break open splits in time and space fabric and just whoop, and pop out at different locations. You know,
No doubt.
Take a 4.37 light year trip.
No doubt, but
in,
it would,
you know,
it
matter
would
of
have
5
to be
minutes.
it would have to be a technological advancement. So if this race of people existed for millions and billions of years before us, and they had that kind of technological advancements, there's still some basic physics that they can't get around, though. You know, and like
Why?
Like if you were to travel at the speed of light, matter condenses and it spreads apart, it expands.
Okay, so what I say, you
their
could punch
bodies would be
holes-
ripped apart.
You could punch
know,
holes
like,
in space.
if you can find a way to do that. You're talking about harnessing energy.
They got something called the Hadron Collider, Super Collider.
That's a particle. That's creating miniature,
Creating miniature black holes.
which is nowhere near
How
a
do they,
vacuum,
okay,
even the
but
strength of a vacuum.
I'm saying,
and
you're
condensed
saying,
matter.
listen, you don't think in 10,000 years they can maybe possibly take that technology, master it, hit 2 atoms together, boom, create a fucking portal, walk through that portal into another time and dimension or even a different place in space.
Hold on. If you're asking me, do I think it's possible? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that we'll get that? No.
Why?
You were asking if you think we're fucking the government's hiding aliens.
Yeah.
Are you asking me if they're gonna hide teleports?
No, I don't.
Teleporters?
I don't think.
Yeah,
they
I
have
think they're
this.
gonna
I don't
hide
think
that.
we have
You know
this
what I mean?
technology.
I don't think they're
yet.
gonna fucking give that to people.
Yeah,
dude.
but I don't think we
They
have it
want
yet.
gas. They want fuel. They rely on transportation as a big market.
No, but
you
once
know?
you
I don't
control,
think we have it.
But Bob Lazar was talking about how like the thing he was working on had its own gravitation. Did you watch it?
I watched all of it.
He said
I've been
it
studying
had-
Bob Lazar. You can ask Dave for a long time, dude.
Once
I
you
showed him Bob Lazar.
Once you harness gravity, don't you harness time and space? Like you're
Well, with what he was talking
basically
about,
God.
because you exist outside it. He was talking about the machine would create a pocket of space that's outside
Mm-hmm.
of space. So when they moved, their machine wasn't moving at all. Space and time was moving around them.
Mm-hmm.
All they were doing was creating a pivot down, a downslope of gravity in front of them and an upslope behind them, so that they would have perpetual motion and move. But the machine itself never moved. Whatever you were in, that once you turned it on, if this was it, and it was in this room, the room wouldn't be moving. So even though we'd be traveling at the speed of light, the craft supposedly was, from what he was saying, inside, no space-time was different, distorted at all, because it started from wherever you started from.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what he was saying in physics, but the problem with that is we don't have anything that we humanly know that can contain enough energy to dispute enough energy to disrupt space-time. You know what I mean?
Except
Like,
for that
we
thing.
make movies
Yeah, but okay,
off
this
of
is where
that
we
kind
are
of shit.
now. I mean, 100 years ago, they didn't have antibiotics.
Yeah, no
You
doubt.
know, in fucking 10,000 years,
No
we'll be
doubt,
like, oh, we got some
but
new
you're
shit.
talking about, like, besides finding the God chemical, which I think is the real reason why we're getting behind mining asteroids. We're looking for the ancient
Right.
material that is, you know, long out of our evolution in our solar system. When we find these different, whatever fuck they are, we're capable of creating different compositions and shit.
You
then
mean
we're
create
able to
life.
Huh?
The God particle.
No.
create life.
God particle it's damn, this would be too hard to explain, but
All right, let's not-
space is expanding, it's slowly depleting in its material. You know, it's all finite, so it's slowly depleting. Well, they said during the Big Bang, when that first happened, there had to be specific, like, God-like chemicals
All right.
or compositions that could combine with all kinds of other things. So there was other elements, there was other
All right.
life, there was all kinds of other things.
What do you guys...
So I think that we're looking for that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe. But so, to wrap that up, you do think it's possible, though?
I think it's possible, yes.
Yeah. You just don't think it's happened.
It's not that I don't think I don't think that we would ever know about it.
He's all about this conspiracy shit. I gotta get
It
some
is,
more.
man.
We're
It
doing-
is.
He's
I
Eddie
don't
Bravo.
think you can
He's
ever.
already Bravo.
I don't
Bob
think you
Lazar
can
said
ever
it.
have a government
already
unless you
Bravo.
have people who are willing to follow it.
Bob Lazar said
that's
Black
himself.
people. What'd you say?
what?
You say black people?
I never said black.
Okay, sorry.
I said let you have people to follow it.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said it like a black person. Okay.
Hey,
Bob Lazar said like once you're able to control that and actually like know how it works, that thing that they were working on, that you rule the world.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you know how to use it, you can rule the world.
If you're able to enter and exit out of time, you're God, dude. Because
Yeah.
you could go back before, like, oh, you were gonna kill me. Okay, I'll just go back 5 seconds before you did it, and I'll kill you.
Yeah.
You know, or I'll go back and I'll be Jesus who came down and told you stuff that you didn't know.
Imagine that.
And I'll go back and I'll be the fucking gods that came down and built the pyramids and shit.
Right.
Imagine
I
getting
don't
to a
doubt. I
point-
don't doubt it. I think that's what we're gonna discover. You know what I mean? But I think when we finally discover it, it's not going to be something that our government comes out and says, "Hey,
We have this.
we found this." I
No.
think it's going to be something that the people create a revolution and go, "You motherfuckers have known this
Yeah.
forever."
Right.
The reason that there was always a monarchy over civilization was because you held the knowledge that there was a reset on our planet and that there was an advanced prior existence of people that we come from that has been moving through space trying to find homes throughout the cosmos. And this is our most recent. We just came from Mars. I like that example. We just came from here because we fucked up there, and now we're here, and we're on the verge of doing it again,
Right.
But we're not going to say anything because we're making so much money, we get to live like gods.
Maybe even the moon.
And if we didn't do this, we'd have to live like you guys do and have to work and do shit.
Yeah. You ever seen
But
the movie?
that's a conspiracy.
You seen the movie Back to the Future? The 4 movies?
All of them?
Was there 4 or 3? Back to the
I think
Future.
there was
I can't
3,
remember
right?
one of them. I need to rewatch it.
They're great, but they all talked about when they go back in time and they change something. When they come back to time when they were, everything's changed.
Yeah.
So it's like
they
they'll
did
be
a
able
good
to
depiction of that.
they'll be able to go back in time and change shit.
Yeah,
You know,
I,
we won't even know it.
that's why I
Yeah.
think they're hopefully they're not doing that. I think that would be the thing. But I have a theory
And then
about. Go
Well,
on.
again,
I
science
I don't like the fact that
doesn't
like
actually support that though.
who is what.
The whole time travel. If
Yeah,
you were
the
to exit out of
grandfather paradox.
time, you would create a replicant of yourself. You'd create a parallel universe.
Oh,
So
really?
every time you jumped out of time, you'd be creating a parallel universe. So it'd be,
Shit.
which
Alright.
again, if we
So
believe
it's not
that
like
there's
you can go back
infinite,
and come back.
well, if there's infinite amount
Maybe,
of
who
us right
knows?
now,
I mean,
then
how
you
the fuck
already
we know?
exist out of time.
Yeah.
So you could travel within yourself.
Yeah, I just wouldn't like. I don't know when that technology comes out because we've already got the technology. If what Lazar's saying is true, we have technology that we don't even have yet. You know
Yeah.
that we
Yeah,
don't,
exactly.
We're not even.
We haven't caught up to it yet.
Yeah, it's like he used the analogy of leaving like a motorcycle. Did you remember when he said that it's like someone dropped off a motorcycle in the Stone Age?
Yeah.
It's like eventually they'll learn how to like turn the key and turn it on, but they'll never understand how to.
Yeah. Or even
Right.
what its purpose was.
Yeah, like the insides of it, like what's
Yeah.
doing what. So,
Yeah, I thought the most interesting thing that he said was when he went inside the craft that there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing in there besides panels, and they all sat around the center. There was no windows or anything like that, but I guess the material could become translucent where you could see
Transparent,
through it
yeah,
or
you can
something
see
like
through
that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
she said
wasn't.
we have that technology
it wasn't
now.
operated by like how we operate everything by a visual concept to guide us. This was operated more of mental, like as if they already premeditated
Maybe.
where they were going.
Maybe.
It's kind
Some
of
mind link
it
to
makes
the
you
machine.
think exactly what is the real implication behind that machine, because if you're to travel in anywhere lateral, there's going to be objects that
Yeah.
can come in between you and your
You're
destination.
thinking of
that
the
Elon Musk shit you just told
Yeah,
me.
there's some new shit today. I haven't got the chance to look into it. It might be a bullshit, but I know he's proposed it like some way of combining neurons or nervous tissue with computer with somehow with
Yeah, like-
computers. I
well,
don't-
he's
supposedly something came
he's
out today.
really
it's all
trying to
over-
get behind it because he's trying to combat against how far we're creating with the AI, how fast it's advancing, because it's going to advance to a point where once it becomes truly
Yeah.
AI, there's no retreating, there's no going back. So he's trying to create some kind of preliminary system where we have some kind of
That's so
ruling
crazy,
and
man.
He's gonna
power.
save
over
it.
And you know
this,
what's crazy about all
yeah,
this
he
stuff?
really fucking will.
He's
We're,
gonna
dude.
we're
save
running out of
us.
time.
Because if
so I wanna-
not, there's gonna fucking eventually come a Terminator time
Yeah.
where you're like, that
Yeah.
shit's real.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
scary shit.
And what's
We-
crazy
we're
is
really
these
in that
sci-fi
time
guys
period.
have been talking about this for 50 years and stuff. And you look at all this stuff, and now we're catching on. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like even Star Trek. You look at Star Trek, and like there's somewhere I'll put up a list on the video of like all these things that Star Trek did in the 80s and stuff, early 90s that came out 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
fucking the watch and the iPad and all this stuff.
Yep.
I want to propose a theory because we only got a few more minutes. This is what I think. I think that aliens, if they can master time travel and all this stuff, that they've probably figured out how not to succumb to AI and all kind of pollution, all this other shit. They probably are super advanced, got a great planet, and now they would be like what any wealthy planet you would think would do, like any country. So like for us, we go, hey, we should be saying this to Mexicans more, maybe going, hey, you need help. You guys, you refugees, come to our country. Here, let us help you out. So here, let's
some
give you
people are.
medicine.
Some
Let's give you
people
food. Let you get you water. Let's help you build your economy. We've got some technologies. This
You'd
has
wanna
always
reach
happened.
out
This
and
has always
advance
happened
the
where
next.
a more advanced civilization has gone to another less advanced civilization and helped push them into the future. I got a
Well-
couple things. Let's not dwell on
okay,
this, but my theory is that they're watching us and that they're waiting to come contact us, but they know we're not ready. They're looking at us like they're not fucking ready.
Yeah.
They're just not ready. And it sucks because it's like, look, guys, there's a good chance that they're waiting to contact us. There's a good chance they could tell us how to prolong life 300-400 years indefinitely.
Yeah.
Cure cancer, learn to farm weather and make sure like people that are starving in the desert have food and water and can grow crops. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like technology that could stop asteroids from hitting our planet and causing extinction. Maybe building advanced spaceships that can get off this planet. So eventually when this thing gets sucked down the black hole, we can keep moving.
Yeah.
You know? I think they're there. I just think they're waiting. I mean, wouldn't you?
Because
Wouldn't you like you said, like with the motorcycle, like if you could go back to like the Aztecs, like what technology could you give them that wouldn't be too much? You couldn't give them a fucking gun. Hey, here's a gun. How is it? They start killing each other with it. They're like they don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Opiates. They take too much, they'd OD and die. You couldn't. You know, it's like well, here's a painkiller. If you break your arm, you guys are getting sick. Here's this. No, they'll probably die. They wouldn't know how to manage that technology. You know.
Well, think about this: is if that's really where it's going, then we only have one last step to our evolution, and that,
Right.
and sadly, it's a technological evolution. It's the ability to be selfless and entering into a complete one universal community.
You're talking about
using
totalitarian,
responsibility
a
and-
global.
I'm talking about if
country.
we eventually do away with all that.
That's
we're
what I've been
capable of
saying.
having UFOs.
I
and
know
we're gonna
this
be
is a scary concept
spacefaring
for like people like Jimmy and probably Craig. Like they hate
It's
the
just
idea.
not feasible
It's
to
dangerous.
do it
This
like
and that.
that.
It's like look, eventually we're gonna have to put down the weapons. We're all gonna unite because we all want the same.
Have to.
Maybe not like just one world leader, but like you know, but something like the United States, where every state has the sort of liberty to sort of make their own laws within a certain boundary,
Yeah.
so that we all have
Yeah.
a fair shot at a good life. You
Yeah.
know?
They're probably
one more thing before we go. Go on.
they're probably looking at us thinking we're a bunch of fucking stupid
Neanderthal
retards.
retards.
You know?
I agree. And
It's like
I
this
feel the
country's connected to
same
this
way.
country, but they hate that country, and
Yeah.
they're not letting each
I
other
would,
in.
I would think that we would be fascinating, to be honest. I think we'd.
No
be
I think it's a
way.
mixed thing. I
would
think it's like
that
the
we'd be
Kardashians.
the most
you know?
fascinating thing in the
I
universe.
don't know.
Now we're at a very ugly period.
Exactly.
Though.
Not that we're not barbaric and still primitive.
Let me
but
tell
then
you-
again, we're primitive to our own nature.
Let
not
me
to
real quick
theirs.
tell you one more cool thing. The Genesis Project. Have you heard of this from NASA? They're gonna seed other planets with bio life. You know, like small like bacteria and you know they're gonna seed life forms on other planets and kickstart evolution.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
NASA's trying to do this?
NASA's trying to do this, dude. I didn't have
Great
time to
idea.
get into it. NASA
Fucking
has
bravo.
That right there is
Yeah.
what distinctively separates a zero civilization
fucking
to a
thing, right?
civilization one. And if we do that, exactly. Think about that. We could completely populate the entire cosmos in less than like
Fucking A.
100,000 years.
Well,
Yeah.
fellas, we've come to the end of the show.
Shame. So much more we could cover.
Well, so in closing, we're going to do a special show for Jimmy next week. Then
Next
you guys
week.
are taking a week off. We'll come back, do a show or two. Casey, we'll get you back on. I got cool shit planned. Cool shit. And we're going to do a clown movie.
We got a clown movie coming out. Fucking
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Sad clowns.
Stay tuned.
Thanks, Case.
Hey, always a
Lot of
pleasure, man.
shit.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Fuck.
folks. Adios, amigos.
A lot of shit coming.